return to your strikers. Shaw, Perry and Duffy, all on the score sheet. Strikers, as you've told me on countless occasions this season, are confidence players, all with a goal to their name. They should be bouncing around in training this week.
Yeah, they will be, and there was coming off as a manager, I was delighted for the players, and I feel that when they've seen the potential. We've worked very hard with Louis on his delivery and getting into the right areas. And full credit, I think that we knew that we could win the battle in wide areas. We knew that they'd come to frustrate, and they tried to. Say that first goal, if that had gone in the first minute, they might have had to change their tactics. But the game I learned at Sheffield United is that when I was playing, is that the teams would come to Bramwell Lane and set up shop, and we knew in the second half, kicking towards our fans at Bramwell Lane, that we'd be strong and determined, and invariably we'd win the game. I feel that that's going to be the case for sometimes here, is that we have to be patient, and fans don't want to hear that, but it is a fact, is that teams are paying us a large amount of respect. Why did Salisbury come here and with the biggest side they can? Because they know that we're strong and determined, and that's what we've got to be able to maintain our form, and I feel that it's a mark of respect as well.
Let's go to the other end of the pitch in terms of the defensive performance. The 2 goals he did concede, would the word soft be a fair comment on those goals? Yeah,
definitely. They were soft goals. I mean, the first goal, it took a deflection off somebody's face, and Alan would normally have picked it up quite easily. However, we saw it against Gateshead, and even in the second goal, it's going wide. I think it's probably going healthily wide, but it deflects off the boy's back and goes in the net. So Alan was a little bit perturbed by that, because it seems like as a goalkeeper, it's going against you. But Alan pulled off one very good save, I think, from their only shot in open play. So it was a very solid performance. But you come off and you think, how have we conceded?
Brough stepped in obviously for Luke Jones. Do you think that played a part maybe in the goals? I mean, Mick Saxby, who was next to me in the commentary box, says that communication is a big part of forming a central defensive partnership. Maybe they didn't talk as much as probably they should have done.
I feel that they've only played together two times, and of course in any partnership it takes time, doesn't it? It's like when you meet your first girlfriend, it takes time. After 2 dates, you're still not talking as much as you'd like. But it's a case of them 2 boys, they're experienced enough, and certainly that can develop. We do, Luke Jones is a miss. I'm not going to sulk about that. Luke Jones is a miss. His aerial challenges have been vitally needed, and you need that commanding centre half. But I feel that both the goals were deflections, so I'm not going to chastise them too much.
Moving into midfield, you've picked out Louis Briscoe already he's caused left backs absolute terror in the last 2 games. But the plaudits I imagine must go to Gary Mills, but also John Shannon for his first half performance as well.
Yes, John again is an attacking midfield player, so it's nice to have that in your armoury. And I felt he showed his prowess by latching onto a ball that was obviously deflected from Gary Silk, who had the earlier shot. But Gary showed a lot of maturity, and I feel that it's been taking time for Gary, but he's got his head down and really worked hard. He's a chirpy character, and certainly the type of character that likes winning. But I think he showed also his team spirit by, when he went on that run, slotting a wonderful pass to Carl Perry for the next goal, and you could see by the reaction of the players, they went to Gary rather than to Kyle. So it shows what togetherness there is in the camp, and that, as a manager, is delightful, and I was very pleased to see that.
John Shannon came off at half time. How's that injury looking in terms of the game on Saturday now?
Well, he's going to go for a scan, because he took a knock, and last week he obviously wanted to play, and we had to keep that under wraps. He had a fitness test on Saturday, and I had to make sure that he was fit. I think players learn. I mean, when we played Gateshead, young Ollie, he should have come off, and that's a maturity thing. And I said to John, look, at half time, are you struggling? And if you are struggling, I need to know. And he was man enough to accept that the team comes first. And I felt that Carl Nix, when he went on, showed the qualities he's got. It was good to have that balance in midfield with the left footer, and certainly Kyle did very well when he went on. So it's nice to have that ability to bring Kyle in and show what qualities he has.
3 points on Saturday. Unfortunately, the 6 points that you lost yesterday, well, we were going to lose them anyway, weren't we, David? But in terms of that line and 8, 6 points off the playoffs at the minute before tonight, how does that make you feel?
It doesn't make me feel too good today, to be honest. I must say that. I feel that prior to the weekend, I expected it, but when it happens, you have to pick yourself up, and I think that's the message we must get out, is that we're still positive. We've had 4 games without a defeat. And I feel that after the performance on Saturday, there's a lot of confidence around the place. No one wanted that to happen, and it's a big blow. Of course it is. We recognise that, and it's probably cost us more than other teams. Which, again, I'm not going to sit here and sulk about. You have to move on and do things pragmatically, and basically, come on, let's cheer on the team on Saturday. We've got 2 home games to come, and I feel that there can be a lot of positives.
Before we come on to Saturday, there's a big night of football tonight. Mansfield Town aren't involved. We look at the league table. If we go on a worst case scenario, you could be 5 points off 7th and 9 points off the playoffs. Is there a sense of helplessness in your camp at the minute? You just got to sort of ride out tonight and see what happens.
Good question. We can't do anything about it, and I think that we have to just manage it. I've said before, and I said it prior to the Tamworth game, is we must manage our own situation. And be as disciplined, as organised, and as tactically astute as we have been. And in recent games, I think that's been a major part where teams have tried to be very defensive against us. But the players have gone out there with a correct attitude. They've been professional, and there's still a lot of games to come that we can have a healthy hand in.
Are you going to watch any of the games tonight?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Which one?
York.
In terms of more preparation for the game coming up here against York.
Yeah, we'll get the game down at Histon watched as well. Gareth will go down now, and we talk about. I think Mick McCarthy got fined, didn't he, for not fielding his strongest team. Well, I feel that that there should be a question asked as to why Histon are not fielding 5 of their players, or maybe more than that. Whether they're under contract or not, surely is it. I'm going to ask the question, is it detrimental to the other teams that they're not fulfilling and putting out their strongest side, whether they're under contract or not? I don't know. That's, for me, Gateshead have gone and got a point, but how do you feel if you're the other managers there? Suppose they decide to sign a contract at the end of next week. Well, they've not fielded their strongest side. So, is it a question for to be asked by the lower teams, but boys down the bottom, because are Histon doing that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Whether they've got contractual disputes or not. I've got a number of players out of contract. I don't mean I'm not going to play them.
And just to return to the beginning of this interview, have you got a final message for the Mansfield Town supporters looking ahead towards Saturday and the rest of this season?
Yeah, thank you for your support on Saturday. It was tremendous, and they really got behind the players and the club, and we're grateful for that. And as I say, they can play their part, and they still will. Come Saturday, get that little singing section up on the right hand side there. They were very vocal. We know that Salisbury bought 1 man and a dog. I don't know if he bought a dog this week, but the support was very much needed, and we're grateful for that. And the players really do get lifted by that.
Thank you, David.
Okay.
Well, this season ticket, did it actually hit you in the face? Or
No.
Things have kind of, there's lots
I
of...
don't know what's been said. No, the season ticket, it was the gesture which, again, the gentleman showed. And, come on, I'm a big boy. If I mean, my frustration and the gentleman's frustration is that, he's shown, what would I say, his frustration, but we're winning. So I can't quite understand that one.
What did he want? 4-1 or 5-1?
I don't know. So you tell me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And you try and in our interviews we try to make sure that we bring over the right positive attitude, don't we? And we try to do things correctly, and always have done. And I didn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. And as I say, it didn't hit me. No, it didn't hit me at all. And he wasn't nasty to me. He wasn't aggressive. He just I don't know what his faults were. I can't understand it.
What's the latest with Jonah? How's he been?
He was going for a scan, wasn't he?
He hasn't had his. I think he might be going for a scan this morning. Yeah, because he's walking around.
You scored 4 goals away at Tamworth, and obviously you've got them here on Saturday.
Yeah.
You've just scored 4 goals at home. People will be expecting or hoping.
Well,
for a goal
Tamworth, I
fest.
think the biggest factor in that is that Tamworth were mindful of that. And again, what I'm going to say is that Tamworth will recognise that. We battered them at their place, and obviously they're going to come here with a game plan. It'll be much of the same.